Hello everyone, welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime that's in the title screen down below. I can't pronounce it, I do apologize. So, here's the thing. The main protagonist is trying to get better at figuring out what's closest to people. How do I say that in layman terms? She's trying to figure out how far she can go being friendly. Like she sits at a desk. The person next to her on the right, because then on the other side is the window. So I'm just gonna say, well, left, no, the right. Sorry. He's trying to communicate with her, and she talks so quietly that he can't hear her. So he tries to try different ways to try to figure out what she's saying, and then it snowballs out of that. Like for example, they start trying to rap each other and what the hell's going on, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. So that's the main gist of it. Um, Now, when it comes to the other main character, his problem is that it looks like he has no emotions, and the other character, the girl that I just mentioned, that she has communication skills. Like, she doesn't know how far she can go. She's a little too clingy and too nice. She does also have no emotions. The main problem with her, though, is when she tries to be friends with the other guy, she thinks she goes a little overboard, which she does. Like, for example, when they walked home together when they walk home after school, she's holding his arm like they're a couple, and she doesn't know how far she can go. Now that's the main gist of the two main characters. They don't really have personality traits. I mean, the guy's trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with our main protagonist, and he comes up with the most craziest shit. Like one episode when she's trying to clean the whole entire classroom, he thinks that she's an assassin, and it shows her murdering someone with a fucking gun. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? It's a parody anime, and this is the first. This is in a long time that I've seen a parody anime be a normal anime, and then their imagination of the characters in the anime make it a parody by going to the far worst extremes of it. Like, there's this one episode where he thinks of her as an android that made references to three animes. Dr. Slump, I believe it's called, Arale, the girl from Dragon Ball Z, episode 86, I believe, before the Tournament of Power. She gets a reference to it, and then two other animes. I don't know what the other two animes are, because I've never watched them. But it's a parody anime, and they're going to make a lot of references to other animes and stuff like that. But they only do it once or twice, which I think is a refresher, because most parody animes just go, stuff like that. But besides the other two main characters, we also got their two other friends who just there. I mean, they get introduced in the one of the characters get introduced in the second episode, and they just hang out with them. They're not important, but they're just there. And at some point they try to get the two main characters to fall in love with, to confess that they love each other, and eventually they do. So yeah, so they're pretty much side characters, so to speak, but they are characters that are important to the plot, sort of. I mean, they're not like they're there, but they're there. Then we have our fifth main character, which she has more of an important role than the other two that I just mentioned. She she and the main female character, the girl that looks like she's supposed to be in middle school, she is her best friend back in middle school, because they sit together and they are best friends. She tries to look out for her by being a stalker, so to speak, but she's really bad at it. So, but she wants to be friends with the other all the characters, and she eventually does, which is a good thing. I think that's a really good thing, to be honest with you. She wants to be better at what she wants to do, and she decides to lighten up at the end of the anime. So yeah. Then she's pretty much your typical, anime character that is very far distanced, typical stuff. I've seen it multiple times in anime, so it's not like it's a bad thing. So, Then we have the two teachers. Now the two teachers, one teacher is the teacher that is more along the lines of, how do I say this? She is a nice girl. She's a nice woman. Nice girl. Nice woman. Sorry, my apologies. She's a nice woman. She helps out the other teacher out, makes sure that she doesn't, get sick or stuff, and I'll get to her when we get to her. But however, there's one thing this teacher actually got me interested in her, is because of the fact that she can drift like fucking Tomoe, what the hell his name is, guy from Initial D, because they're planning on going camping, and when they're driving to the campsite, she decides to drift of a corner in a soccer mom video van. I'm like, what the fuck is this? With fucking Initial D? So I'm like, wow, holy shit! I didn't know they referenced that. I keep tabs on the references of other animes because I've watched so many animes. Then we have their second main teacher who has a problem of getting sick when she see people being all lovey-dovey. And it's kind of a running gag for the whole entire series because of the fact that she has an issue with the two main characters falling in love with each other because she gets nosebleeds and then she thinks of them when she's dreaming, and when she's dreaming about them, she almost bleeds to death if it wasn't for the other teacher helping her out. So yeah, it's kind of like a running gag. I think it's pretty fucking funny, to be honest with you. But at some point though, it does get stale at some point. I think it got stale around episode 11 or 12, which there are only 12 episodes, but we'll digress. Then we get the two siblings from the main female character. She has a brother and a sister. The sister is the older sister, or I think it's the younger sister. I don't know, but she is more built. She is more built. She knows how to cook, but she's also overly protective of her sister because she wants her to be happy, and that's the best thing about it. And I think that's really noticeable. She doesn't come in until later on in the anime, so I'm not going to talk to her about her that much because of that reason. However, her younger brother though is a cross-dresser. He likes to wear her sister's clothes because they think they look pretty on him. He's a fourth grader. What do you expect? Which kind of funny note, when he gets introduced, our main protagonist, he thinks that he's talking to the main character of the females. I can't pronounce her name. I do apologize. But instead it was her brother, and he decides to play along because he's wearing her uniform and he looks exactly like her. The only difference between the three is the fact that the main character is quiet and she's shy and stuff. Well, she's not shy. She's just too clingy. Her brother looks exactly the same. They dress the same like the main character. But the thing about him, though, is the fact that he has at least facial expressions unlike the main character does. And the older sister or younger sister, I forget which one it was, because I watched this like a couple days ago and I finished it. Her difference between the other two is that she's taller than everyone, pretty much. So those are the three things. That's pretty much all the main characters. I mean, there's two other side characters, like little kids that are like, think of the main character. One of the boys from an elementary school, I think it's called. He thinks of the main character as the king because she beats the crap out of everyone. However, the girl or his childhood friend gets pissed off at him because she likes him and she doesn't like to lose to anyone. So it's like that, But they are sporadic, so I'm not really going to think about it. Now, this is the parody anime, and I like to say this. This is the most ridiculous parody anime ever. I haven't watched a parody anime like this one before. Because they do make references here and there, but most of the references are their imagination. Usually when they make references, they talk about what the hell is going on and stuff in the anime, and I think that's pretty good. However, I did watch a couple a parody anime not too long ago that did the same thing, and that was pretty fucking funny. So because of that reason, it's gonna get a knockoff of that. But however, the anime does tease at the very end a new character that comes in. Um, I hope there's a second season because this anime is pretty much new. So I'm gonna give this one a solid 7. It's not up there to the 8, 9s, and 10s because of the fact that I feel like I've seen this anime style before when it comes to its plot and summary and stuff. However, the good thing is about this anime is the fact that no other character tries to break them up just because they love the other one of the main characters, and I think that's been done to death. So I think that's the main reason I didn't give it a 6. I gave it a 7. It's a top 7 though. It's not like it's a low 7. It's like a top 7 when it comes to all the other animes I've reviewed. But to be honest with you, I feel like I've watched this style of anime too many fucking times. Like for example, like the Dragon Ball Z references that from the last parody anime that we watched. That's the same style. However, I do like to give it a little notch because they did reference Dr. Slump Arale in the anime, which I think that's really interesting because that anime didn't come out probably in the night in not until the early 90s, I believe. I don't know when that anime came along because Dragon Ball Z made a reference to the original Dragon Ball made a reference to her because she was the main character, and also Dragon Ball Super. So I'm glad that the anime is still being referenced here and there. But to be honest with you, it gets a 7 out of 10. What are you guys' thoughts on this anime? Do you want to watch it? Do you want a second season? Because if there's a second season, I'll definitely watch it. Because this anime is really good. Which most parody animes don't usually get a lot of second seasons because it's just as one and done. However, there have been, like the last anime review, Demon Girl of Another Next Door. That's gotten 2 seasons, and there might be a third season. Which that's highly hard to do when it comes to parody animes, because a lot of parody animes that I've watched, most of them only get like 1 season. So, unless you're fucking Gimitama, which gets like 500 episodes. So, I know my anime, man. I'm like lost now. So before I end this anime review, I'd like to say this: like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more content like this. I do this on a daily basis. Just me talking to you guys in the camera. Hi. I'd like to say this. There will be 2 more anime reviews, and one of the next 2 anime reviews, one of them is from Sir Jacob. Sir Jacob gave me an anime, and I'm on episode 4. I'm going to be watching that for the rest of the month, but there might be an anime that passes him by the end of the day, so I just want to let you know that. So shout out to Sir Jacob, shout out to Fascination Channel, shout out to everyone who the fuck watches my videos. Shout out to Renee, she's cool. Nicholas, Terry, I don't know. Who else is there? I can't pronounce Japanese names, so I do apologize. I'm trying to shout out everyone out this video. So stay positive. Hope you have a nice positive day, bitches. I haven't done that in a while.